That's a good question you're asking right there. So it kind of puts me on the spot. So how I would describe our music is, I'm gonna say R&B, hip hop, soul, because those are the current categories to put the music in at the moment. But I don't like to be pigeonholed, or I don't think we like to be pigeonholed to just one particular category. So I want to say that our music is something that's going to help you achieve higher vibrations and, be around for a little while. I want to see this music being played, or if I'm not around, people listening to it 50 years from now and still enjoying it. And each time you hear the music, you get you see something different with the music. You hear something different with the music you didn't hear prior, and you get something out of it. Sort of like, when you read the good book, right? Every time you read it, it seems to apply to that particular day that you're reading it, whether it be, day 2 or whether it be 2,000 years from the point it was written. You're going to get something different out of it. So that's how I would describe our music. Okay, so like I said in the first, answering your first question, I don't think the music is rebellious. We're not that type of thing. We just want to make music that feels good to us at the moment. So we did a lot of things with this particular project that we didn't do on other projects. You know what I mean? So we explored different avenues, and we took one thing about us. We like to be original. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to hear this sounds like such and such, or it's hard to even Google something like that with us artists. It sounds like such and such because we don't fit into one particular category or one genre of music. You know what I mean? And to make that evident, when the album debuted, we had about 250 physical copies, right? And about 200 was already sold before we printed it out. Now everything is online now, digital marketing, all that stuff like that. But because my father's in the 70s, there are people who still want physical stuff, and so the label kind of cautions us against that. But you gotta understand, the DJs are still spinning LPs. You understand what I'm saying? So there's still a market for that. Yes, they're still spinning vinyl records. That's where your all that stuff comes from. And sometimes the digital, it can't give you the feel. Sometimes you have to physically touch something, man. So there are places and DJs who still favor those over the newer digital stuff. You know what I mean? So I had people from different cultures buy music. I had people buying music from me I didn't even listen to our music at all. I mean, nonetheless, hang out with people of the African or black descent or race, and so I was shocked. I had people I thought was going to buy albums, and they didn't even listen to it, even when I gave it to them for free. So you have to step back and look at yourself and ask yourself, is everybody actually for you? And the answer is no. But it's one thing you should know. With the word no, if you rearrange the letters and put the O in front of the no and add an E to it, you get one. You only get one chance at this thing. And in the beginning, it's just you. In the end, there'll be just you. So nothing about us is rebellious, but we're not afraid to take on new challenges. What sets our music apart from some of the stuff that's going on right now? A lot of people are fully digital with it, so they get like a beat machine or something and they track the record, and they go with it. Either the beat's already made and they bring it to the artist, and I think this sounds like a trap song or a country song or whatnot, and the artist has to write or get a ghostwriter to try to mold some type of song to that, throw something together in order to make sense out of it. In the music industry, man, about 50% of it is your production, you know what I'm saying? The other 50% is your marketing. So let's say your album sounds like complete garbage, but it's marketed like, say, Crown Royal in a bag, and you see the commercials on TV and it's always in your face, and eventually you're gonna grow on it. You hear terminology like, I didn't like it at first, but I had to listen to it a few times and it just kind of grew on me. So you hear terminology like that when it comes to the actual music business or just in entertainment business in general. And so no, we didn't do anything like that. We tried to incorporate real instruments. There are some tracks that were already pre-made, but sometimes we wrote a song and there's nothing out there for it. We have to build a beat literally or instrumental from scratch. Sometimes we're making it with our mouth. Some of these tracks started out as just literally just a cappella. We recorded it a cappella, and we found something, changed the tempo, and made it work to what we had going on. Every track that you see or every track that you hear on this particular album actually tells a story. And the way we tried to do it when we did it in the actual order, we tried to do it where even that would tell a story, but we was unable to do it due to time constraints and scheduling conflicts, because during the making of From the Soul, we was actually working on other people's projects at the same time, soundtracks, etc. We had the One Time for Your Mind podcast going on, and like I said, commercials going on behind the scene, and we had our own family, personal life that we had to deal with as well, man. So it took about 9 months to make something. To me being around for a while, usually I knock these projects out, nothing to knock out 16 joints, man. 16, I say do 18 joints, man, and you just pick the hottest of it, and then you put it out. You slap the barcode on it, do 1 or 2 videos and let it go. That's pretty much the industry standard out there, and we didn't want to do that, so we did 4 music videos for that. If you purchased the physical special edition set, then you got extra stuff that we wasn't actually able to do to the digital market, So, and a lot of times we signed it personally, and you got something that's going to be that's personal to you, that goes in your collection and will be around for years to come. So let me just say this here. So I started out in the gospel field. Okay, I was in foster care at one point. So I lived with Catholics, I lived with Baptists, Presbyterians. So I've had different experience in the church field when it comes to music, and I've been on all the choirs, right? So one particular religious set, you're sitting down, you're up, you're kneeling, you're sitting up. And another one, you're there for for hours, feel like days, man, while somebody huffs and puffs and spits on the microphone, and you're trying to make sense out of this stuff as a child. So I was exposed, me and actually my father and James Goodwin, who's actually deceased. We all sung on church choir. Don Mecca, we all sung on church choirs at some point, and even played instruments for him. So my particular field started out is gospel or Christian music or non-secular music. We started out as that, and then I got involved with it was hip hop at first, man, and then it turned into rap. So we had that scene going on, and this particular album that came out, there is some tracks on there we touched a little bit about rap, but it wasn't all rap. You understand what I'm saying? Because rap is something to me. We say he's a rapper, she's a rapper. When you go to McDonald's, you got people rapping burgers, So I kind of put all that together. This is not an assembly line. This is custom catered. You're sitting down at a table and then you're getting the best of the best. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're getting the full cooked meal that's gonna be with you for a few hours. I was always told to take your time and eat, put some starch on you so the food will be with you for a little while, and versus just sitting down for the pop and go, you know what I mean, the to-go orders or the drive-through or takeout, you know what I mean, not thinking about the concept takeout, you're eating fast food and you're sick all the time. What are you doing? You're taking yourself out of here. So our music wasn't like that. We took our time, we put it together peacefully, but started out in gospel. Most of us did. Some of us had no musical experience at all. This is their first go around. Did the hip hop thing, traversed over to rap, never did mumbling, never did none of that other stuff. And I said, let's take it back to the old school, because without the James Browns and the Princes and the Led Zeppelins, there will be none of this hip hop now. If you pay attention now, a lot of these sampling and stuff, they're sampling stuff from the old days and bringing it back. So why sample the old stuff? Why not just do the old stuff from the get-go, but with a modern day flair or swing or tang to it? And that's exactly what we did, hence the name Soul, but it's harmony as well, you know what I mean? So soul is harmony, so it puts you in the mindset of the 60s, 70s era with a little pinch of 80, with some modern day stuff in there. I mean, the youngest member in the group is 15, the oldest member is in their 70s, so you got a long range of music when it comes to doing things unorthodox. So yeah, I enjoyed it and they enjoyed it. If you see their interviews, you see they enjoy doing what we do as well. Who are some of my main influences as far as music goes? I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up around Michael Jackson, Prince, but it's not just one particular genre. I listen to music on also, like I said, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Sir Isaac Newton, listen to them. Sir Elton John, excuse me, listen to them. The Beatles, the Mamas and the Papas. But I also listen to elements of rock and roll. So you got the 3 Days Grace, or you got the Crossfades, and believe it or not, even Metallica. And when I'm reading or trying to be peaceful, I listen to stuff like Mozart and Beethoven. And in the gospel field, I'm gonna say David and Tamla Mann, Marvin Sapp, and even some locals. There's some locals in there. It's not all industry when it comes to me. I try to listen to people who are regional as well. So I'm gonna throw some regionals in there that you may or may not know. Groups like the Eagles, listen to Ricky Prince, J-Rock, the Presidential Players, Big Joe 24, BFL, listen to stuff like that. I try to keep my ear open for different stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want to just eat the same burger and fries all the time. I gotta have something different. Switch it up, put some fish in there, put some, some frog legs, mix it up a little bit, you know what I mean? It's beef, you know what I mean? And chicken. I don't want to eat the same thing over and over again, man. That's repetitive. But you see a lot of people out here nowadays, they do stuff that's competitive. They don't even know they're doing it, you know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, repetitive. Repetitive turns into competitive, you know what I'm saying? And so I like people like Nipsey Hussle when he said this is not a race, this is a marathon. Okay? So if I was to give you an idea where I'm coming from, we're gonna go to the next question. If I was a football player, right, and let's say my football team was in your city, right, and we played in the Super Bowl and we lost, and I gotta fly back to South Carolina, right, but I'm in California, okay, let's say we're in California. Do you think I'm gonna get on that plane and fly back mad? Or if I'm in your city, I'm gonna party with y'all, okay? Simple, I'm gonna party with y'all. And if we're gonna get on the plane, we're gonna fly back to South Carolina and we're gonna try it all over again. I've been to rock and roll concerts. I've been to rap concerts. I've been to gospel concerts. You know what was the most entertaining out of all these? Believe it or not, it was probably the gospel, the rock and roll. I didn't really get anything out of the rap concerts. It was, 1, 2, 3 songs, baby. And when they come out there late, and thank y'all, and that's it. If nobody don't get to shoot, man. So it was a different mindset. Meanwhile, you done paid top dollar and they won't even sign the autographs. And a lot of times the artists who make the music don't even listen to their own music. So when you're in a situation like that, you have a problem. Sort of like when somebody's cooking, honey. If you're cooking your food, if you don't taste your own food before you serve it to your guests, don't expect me to eat it. You understand what I'm saying? because I believe in that there's energy transferred when it comes to stuff like that. A lot of times I don't even touch people. So that's what influenced me. If it touches me and makes me move, I'll be influenced by that. So with that being said, Michael Jackson's, and like I said, the people I named prior, those are the ones I still listen to. Earth, Wind & Fire, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Frankie Beverly Mays. These are the people constructed all into one that makes up what we call, I guess, soul harmony. So what are my top five? Let's just do top five artists and albums at the same time, and songs. So some of these I may not know the exact names to. Well, I'm gonna say Curtis Mayfield, Superfly. That whole soundtrack to me was immaculate. Okay, I like Lenny Williams, but I like Lenny Williams' greatest hits. So I couldn't tell you what particular song was on what particular album. When it got to me, it was already a greatest hits collection. So Lenny Williams is definitely up there. Heat Wave. I love Heat Wave, man. You know, Heat Wave was a sensation in the UK and the US, and they even had some albums I've never heard of. But as far as Heat Wave go, from the first one to the last one, man, I'm gonna start with Too Hot to Handle to Central Heating, all the way up to Candles, right? Or to Heat or Inferno. These albums were immaculate. If you're listening to this, definitely go pick that up. The Gorillaz, okay? Switching genre, they're from the UK. Definitely feel them. I still listen to them to this day, and they have a lot. They're like the electronic feel / hip hopish, and so it's something different when you get tired of hearing the same old thing on the radio. You want to put something in there that's different, so I listen to them. Pink Floyd greatest hits. You know, I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but like I said, they're greatest hits, and they got so many songs in there. You know the ones that's hot, man. Those are the ones you have to go check out. Yeah, most of these things are gonna be greatest hits collections for me. Top five, you know. When you say top five, it's really a small category. The mountain to me is big enough for a lot of people to be on it, but there's only room for one at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like monogamy, man. So we're gonna say at the top, man. I'm gonna say us, man. I can't say that we're not up there. I'm gonna say us. But thank you for the artists that actually influenced me. Definitely. Have I ever been always influenced by music? No, absolutely not. When you're a child, I was a poor child coming up, you know what I'm saying? So you hear people say to be one, you have to know one. You understand what I'm saying? So if somebody said that you're a hater, then you yourself are a hater. You know what I mean? You're only going to recognize that what you are. You understand what I'm saying? The ants only recognize ants. You know what I mean? Because that's what's on the ground with them at the time. You know what I mean? I can tell you a story back in probably 1988, right? And the big wheels were real popular back then. And you know, I don't know what poor was, but we were under poor. So we did the Goodwill and the thrift stores and the Salvation Army before they became what they is right now. And so there was a child riding down the road, and I remember taking a stick, and I threw the stick under the big wheel, and he could have lost his life, and he flipped over a few times. And we later became best friends, believe it or not. We became best friends, and that was the only time that I can actually think of when I actually hated on somebody, what you would call a hater. I get hated on often, every day actually, and I just kind of smiled and I just waved. But the kid actually had 3 big wheels, and he actually gave me and my family gave us one of the big wheels, and we're still friends to this day. And that was my only run-in with hate. That was 1988. So I've been hate-free since 1988. That's a long time. But yeah. Anyway, man, check out the albums on all platforms. Soul Harmony, I'm International Tate Incorporated. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for listening to this interview, and look forward to bringing y'all some stuff in the future. Thank you.